Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another speed build video in The Sims 4. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Happy Sunday. I hope you guys are having and have had the most amazing weekend ever. And today we are building in Evergreen Harbor again. I know I've built in Evergreen Harbor a few times over the last few weeks and we are building on my absolute favorite lot. But today we're doing something a little bit different. So we are doing another pack restricted build. I know you guys are really enjoying these at the moment and I'm so enjoying making them for you. I'm really testing myself in terms of budget at the moment and having a look at different items from different packs and really utilizing them. So I'm having a lot of fun and I'm really glad you guys are enjoying them. So we are building a 98 tile, which is classed as a small home in Tiny Living, and this house requires base game, Tiny Living and Eco Lifestyle to work, so it only requires 2 packs, which Eco Lifestyle and Tiny Living work really well together, and I've wanted to do a small build for quite some time. Now, I've been kind of inspired recently to do some tiny houses because there are some very close friends of mine, Miss Simrino and Reese Moon, you know who you are, who have inspired me recently to start having a look at tiny homes, and I sat down initially and wanted to make this a tiny house. But we're going to do small baby steps, so we're going to start off with a small one because I already had a sort of a design in my head as to what I wanted this house to look like, and I knew that I couldn't get the design across with very minimal tiles. So with a small home you're allowed 100 tiles, so this one comes in at 98 tiles, so it's a little bit smaller, but you'll see when we get inside it's not obviously small, it still feels like quite a good sized house, and obviously the Sims that you move in here will reap the benefits of actually living in a small home, so that's always good. And we are just working on the exterior here, obviously keeping in mind that we are using restricted packs, and so it really wasn't that difficult for me, especially considering I wanted it to look like a house that's sort of been mishmashed together and put together over time, and so it really wasn't that difficult, especially considering that Eco Lifestyle was one of the packs that I decided to use, because you all know how I feel about Eco Lifestyle. For me, it's an absolute builder's dream. Genuinely is. I think the world is absolutely gorgeous, and I think the build and buy items are just, I use them all the time, absolutely all the time. And I have very recently done another pack restricted build, which was base game and only Eco Lifestyle, so I will link that down in the description below. If you haven't seen that already, please consider checking that out after this video. But that's another good one to watch. Again, it's a very odd shape, and I love doing these houses because they are so unique and it just comes quite easily to me, and I had such a blast doing it. And I am actually pre-recording, so it is currently Saturday morning and this video will be up on Sunday, so if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please consider doing so, because I often post on my community tab just to keep you guys up to date with what's going on and my thoughts and things like that. So I've very recently posted on there about me kind of struggling sometimes to get content out because I do work full time as well, and I've wanted to start pre-recording for quite some time, but it's just finding initially that time to just sit down and do a lot of builds and sort of stack them up so that they're ready to do the voiceover and to do the editing process, because that in itself takes a while as well. And so I'm not going to talk about this for a long time, I just want to sort of bring you guys up to speed on where we're at. So my new upload schedule is now Wednesdays and Sundays. I will be uploading my speed builds to the channel, and I am going to start live streaming as well once a week, and it'll be alternate weeks. So one Thursday 1 week, Thursday evening 1 week I'll stream, and then the following week it'll be Saturday evening, and then obviously after that it'll be Thursday and then Saturday, and that's how that will go. So I'm kind of excited. I'm very excited actually, but I just thought I'd give you guys a very quick run through about what my schedule is going to look like. It'll just help me be more organized, and I will be able to sit down and pre-record, and then obviously that means that you guys have content all the time, and I would much rather that than try and get 3 or 4 videos out a week, because when I'm not pre-recording, I'm doing the build, I'm doing the editing, and then I'm doing it all in one go, and I'm putting pressure on myself. I'm not saying that anyone's adding the pressure, I'm just saying I'm putting the pressure on myself to put the content out. So in pre-recording, we're gonna hopefully diminish that completely. So that is the exterior of the build done. We are now working on the inside. And as you can see, this is what I was talking about before. It's actually a really good size. And we're just working on the kitchen area here, and we're using these very nice industrial counters from the base game. And I thought this was the perfect build to use these in, because I haven't used these for quite some time. I think the last time I used them was in an industrial apartment that I did a few months ago now. And then I thought the outside of the house is, there are parts that are blue, so why not put in some blue cabinets in the kitchen just to tie that in a little bit, you know. I love tying in the exterior of a build with the interior in terms of colour schemes, or I try and do it where I can. So, and then initially I wanted to try and put a full-size dining table here, but then I very quickly realised that there's only going to be 1 or 2 Sims living in here, and so it would probably just be better if we put a smaller dining room table down. And I had to use these flowers. I'm not going to keep harping on about these because, you know, I've started a bit of a love affair with these flowers in a vase that came with the very recent base game update that involved custom content creators, and these were made by Hey Harry, and I've completely fallen in love with them, and I use them in all my builds. But the kitchen, I went back and forth on with so many things, but one was this, I tried to section it off. You can see the flooring there with like the tile and then the wood, because I wanted it to just keep it open plan. I didn't want to put any beams down or any half walls. I wanted it to be kept completely open plan, because although it's a decent sized space, it's not the biggest space, and I wanted to just try and utilize it as best I could. And then obviously, because I think I forgot as well that we were using tiny living stuff here, there and everywhere. So as I said, I've done a base game in eco lifestyle, so I knew I was allowed to use eco lifestyle stuff, but I had to try and get in my head that I was also allowed to use tiny living. So there are times when I was doing things in the build and I forgot that I could use tiny living, so that's kind of funny. but yeah, we do change a couple of things in the kitchen. So you can see me here now, I'm just playing around with the tiling, etc., just because I thought it was starting to look a bit strange. Obviously you can see that I've done some diagonal work there, just because I didn't want it to be completely flat, and I also wanted to keep the entrance wooden instead of tiled. So anyway, so you'll see me, we'll go back soon and just change little bits here and there. I know I removed the flowers in a vase and put them in the living room instead, and I also removed, so we're just starting it now. So I removed the tiny living, I don't know what you call that, like shelving unit above the cooker, and I ended up changing the cooker and the swatch of the fridge as well, just because at the minute it's just not saying what I want it to say. So it's a very strange house, so it's quite modern on the inside, and that cooker it does not scream modern, it screams a lot more traditional. And so I swap it out for another base game one, which is one that I actually think is, I don't want to say it's hideous, it's not hideous, it's just not that nice looking. It's just not that nice looking. So it's a cooker, I think I can count on one hand the amount of times I've actually used it in my life. Anyway, so now we're moving on to the living area of the build, and I'm going to be honest, I don't know why I do actually. I know why I struggled initially with the layout. It's because I wanted to use these gorgeous meshed sort of diagonal windows from the Eco Lifestyle pack, and I ended up changing them out for just a full length clear one from the Eco Lifestyle pack, because I don't know why. I think I was overthinking it, to be honest, and I almost thought, right, I'm going to come back to this later because I'm getting annoyed. I'm getting annoyed now. But I pursued, I stuck with it, so you'll see me here. Yes, that's literally all I do. And then I put some curtains down. I'm like, right, okay, fresh start, let's just try it again. And normally I would edit that out of the video, but this video's not that long, so I didn't really feel the need to. But you can see the process, so I'm not as quick as making decisions as you probably think I am. It does take me a long time to work out a floor plan or where I want to put what, and sometimes I look at a room and it doesn't take me long at all, and I can just be like, all right, okay, I want to put that there and that there. And then there are other times when I have a space like this where I'm like, oh, I don't know what I want to put where. So essentially this living room is just filled with eco lifestyle items, I believe, and we do end up changing out the coffee table for the small one from the tiny living pack because I thought that just worked better. I do like the way this one looks, to be fair. It's not a coffee table that I use very much because I don't really think it goes with a lot of my builds, but I thought it kind of suited this one. but I just swap it out for a tiny living one. And then we put a couple of these, I call them poofers. I don't know why I call them I don't know why I call them poofers. The ones that your Sims can't sit on for some bizarre reason, but you can put items on them. Makes no sense whatsoever, but anyway, that's a different story for a different day. And then obviously adding my plants and just making the whole thing sort of a little bit more lively and a bit more colourful. And then I struggled a little bit with swatches on the walls. Again, trying to bring the blue in from the outside, but we did go for a darker blue just because I thought it worked better with the darker wood tones. And then I absolutely love this picture frame from the Tiny Living pack with the stag. Oh, I'm just in love with it. And I know there's an orange swatch that I really like as well, but I did keep it blue, obviously just you know, because everything's blue. And then that mirror there, I really ummed and ahed about that, and I thought that's not going to look that good, and I put it in and I thought actually that looks really nice there. So a little bit of an odd one, but again, the house is a little bit strange, but I also wanted it to be really cute inside, and hopefully we got there with that. Hopefully that came across. And then I went into debug and got my favourite candles from the Eco Lifestyle pack, because I am a candle fiend in real life, thus I am a candle fiend with my Sims houses. So I don't think, this is a lie what I'm about to say. I was just about to say, I don't think I've ever built a house in the Sims where I don't put a candle in, but obviously if I'm doing base game only, oh hang on a minute, we do have candles in the base game. Interesting. I don't always put the base game candles in my base game houses because I think they're kind of ugly. I feel like we need a little bit of a base game overhaul with just some cluttery items like some nice candles, and we need some new beds. I've just been reminded because we're now working on the only bedroom in the house. We need some new beds in this game. Like the ones that we have, even ones from packs, there's like, I can maybe count on one hand the amount that I actually like. Maybe it's just me and I'm picky, but this is a bed that I really like, the one from the Eco Lifestyle pack. There's one from Seasons that I really like. Oh, there's one from City Living that I really like. It's like a canopy bed. I like that one. And that's pretty much it. So in total, I think at a push, I probably like 4 or 5 beds out of the entire catalogue of beds that we have in this game. So I think we need some new beds anyway. So the bedroom is a very strange shape because obviously I had to put the bathroom up here. And the bathroom's actually quite a decent size. I probably could have made the bathroom a bit smaller, but with the space that I had up here, I didn't really know how that was gonna go. So I'm just adding some items here and there, and then I add the little mirror that we just got in, that like this little mirror. This is the first time I've used this, and I thought this is the perfect house to use this in, isn't it? It's so cute, and I haven't been able to use it yet because I always feel like my builds just don't really account for it, but I think it looks really nice in this one. Again, adding some candles from the debug menu because they look so nice when they're lit, and these are the candles that actually melt as they're in use, which is kind of funny. But anyway, just cluttering things up, and I actually really like this bedroom. Normally I don't like my bedrooms, but this one's okay. But that pretty much wraps things up here today, guys. But thank you so much for joining me here today. And this house is available to download from the gallery. My origin ID, of course, is RachelPedd. Tray files, as always, are linked down in the description below, so you can download them from Sim File Share. And screenshots of the house, you are not going to want to miss them, are at the end of the video if you'd like to see what the house looks like in game. But thank you again for joining me here today, everyone. I hope you have the most amazing weekend. You take care, and I will see you next time. Bye!